This belongs in Ripley's Believe It or Not. For 3 years, I stayed in the Venice home of a wonderful woman named Sophia. Not that Sophia, but nevertheless. She was 87 when I met her. I was in my 50s, and we spoke on the phone long distance several times the week she died at the age of 91. And it was because of Sophia and her wonderful son, Paolo, that I met so many delightful people and more or less adopted Venice as a second home during the late 1990s and the early part of this new century. Our friendship seemed to pop out of nowhere. By the third day together, we were almost behaving like we'd been friends for 50 years. No sooner would we stumble out of bed in the morning and wander into the kitchen in our bedclothes, mumbling, buongiorno, buongiorno, then we would be weeping in hysterics at some goofy thing that one or the other of us had said. Many afternoons we would go down to the Campo, which was the little village square, for what Sophia liked to call a toast. The toast consisted of a lovely, cold, fizzy mezzo drink, meaning half peach juice and half frizzante, bubbly water, and of course a toasted ham and cheese sandwich, and I'm addicted to these things, ever since. Sophia lived a very rich, full life. She began her broadcasting career, are you sitting down? With Marconi. Yes, that Marconi. During the Second World War, she was approached by the Nazis and told that she must broadcast important messages to them about how the war was going. So she went to the underground and said, this is what the fascists want, and they said, yes, Sophia, perfect. But by the very words you choose and by the inflection of your voice, you will actually be giving coded messages to us about the underground fighters who were providing secret shelters in the Roman catacombs for the escaped Allied prisoners of war who were on the run. Now, she was so good at this deception that when the war ended, she was nominated for a silver medal for civic valor. Now, here's the Ripley's Believe It or Not part. She did an evening radio show in Rome, and she had her brother, Roberto, as her sidekick, doing an evening radio show in Vancouver for many years. I had a producer sidekick named Bob, who I immediately, from the first night, called Uncle Bob. Sophia had her brother on her show, and for the first night of her broadcast, she called her brother Zio Roberto, Uncle Bob. Sophia and I became friends when she was 50. When I was 53, she was 87, and we shared many interests, including music, literature, art, conversation, and it was my great good fortune to know her. But to see that she and I both created a radio personality called Uncle Bob is just beyond freaky and so very neat. Now, here's your pickle. The pickle is that these strange coincidences that can happen between people who live thousands of miles apart can happen. Your job is to seek them out.